I woke up in the morning and I saw my pillow, white pillow, with a lot of hair. I brushed my hand through the hair, and again I had a bunch of hair. I realized I've started losing hair, and I told my father, I said, please call somebody. I need to get my head shaved. I don't want to get up every morning looking at myself like this. He called someone. After getting my head shaved, when he was shaving, I was lost. It was just sinking in what is happening. And after he left, all I did was I just told my father, give me some time. I went into the washroom with closed eyes. I opened my eyes inside the washroom and I cried for an hour and a half, like loudly, with all the tears. And in that 1.5 hours, I accepted what is happening. And with that acceptance, I decided one thing. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Major Sonam Bakshi, and the title Major comes from having the honor of serving the nation as an army officer for 7+ years. Today is my day to share my story. A unique story, a beautiful story like yours. Today's topic that I am going to be covering is break your own bias. Unknowingly, we have our own biases within ourselves and how to break them. It's not a normal leadership talk, but it's something deep inside which exists with all of us. I'll start with who I am. I'm a small town girl from Agra. I did my schooling and college from Agra. I was in a convent of Jesus and Mary, the most naughty girl in the class. And basically, you might call me a rebel or a curious child. I always did what I was asked not to do. So if there were 3 girls punished outside the class, I would be one of them. I mean, if it was one, it would be me. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I took commerce in class 11th because my brother was graduating in science. My mother was an MSc botany and my dad is a doctor. So take a subject which nobody knows what am I doing. That is the clarity that I had about what to do with life. Anyways, when I went for my brother's commissioning, he's an army officer, I met a lady officer. And that is the time I went to her to ask how to join the armed forces. I got my answers. I cleared my SSB, where we were just about 45 seats across the country. So I was in Officers Training Academy, Chennai, in the year 1999. We're going to complete 25 years in the coming month. And it was a beautiful journey. The training in the Indian Army has been so special. And I personally feel everybody should go through that. What I've learned in the Indian Army is very, very special. First thing, discipline. Right place, right time, right trick. Second, lead by example. Third, team spirit. And giving up is not an option. When you are giving up in the army training, they teach us you only have to look at the final destination, not the problems, not the circumstances that are stopping us from getting there. So after about 7 years, I went to IIM Indore. I started my corporate journey with ICICI Bank as the HR manager for about 4 years. Then I joined Wipro as the HR head for North and East India. While I was working in Wipro, I lost my mother suddenly. And my best friend also lost her aunt due to cancer. And that is the time we both decided to submit Kilimanjaro. So I am submitted Kilimanjaro. I'm a PADI certified scuba diver. So the adventure, what I learned in the army has never left me. What I learned in Kilimanjaro was also very unique. I think it was the first day and our guide was telling us that, it's just another 3 hours. And then after 4 hours, I'm like, don't tell me like that how many hours are left. Just tell me the real distance so that I travel accordingly. And he just told me, Sonam, who asked you to come here? I'm like, I came myself. So he said, you'll not be able to submit till the time you keep few things in your mind. One is positive mental attitude. Second is taking each step as it comes. One step at a time, pole pole. That's what we call it in African language. Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa, just to give you a reference. And post that, one thing that we learned is 6 days it took us to climb and 1 day to come down. So that's how life is. And one more thing that we learned in Kilimanjaro was never say die attitude. Your mind is limitless. Just keep walking, and you will reach the top. So that was my learning in Kilimanjaro. And post Wipro, I joined Clix Capital, which is erstwhile GE Capital, as a CHRO. It was a build-up and an amazing experience to set up teams. Then I was with Affle, which is a mobile marketing company based out of Singapore, as a global HR head. So in terms of my progression in the professional life, I was doing well. In 2019, the turnaround in my life happened. It was a few months that I would suddenly get stomach pain, like really bad stomach pain. Generally, it would happen at night, and in the morning I would be fine. So like a normal person, I would like get back to work, go to office, do your stuff. You have 2 children, you have a lot of responsibilities to take care of, not giving attention to what my body was telling me. On 5th of September 2019, my stomach pain was so bad that I had to go to the hospital, to a gastrophysician. And after knowing the kind of pain that I have, he recommended that I should go through an ultrasound. Ultrasound led to an MRI. And from an MRI, it came out, I have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, stage 3C, which is the last of stage 3. I thought, this is not for me. I thought this is somebody else's story going on. It took me a long time to accept it. Within 4 days, I went through 12 hours of surgery, followed by chemotherapies. I still had not accepted it. Till the time my first chemotherapy happened, about 3-4 days after the chemotherapy, I woke up in the morning and I saw my pillow, white pillow, with a lot of hair. I brushed my hand through the hair, and again I had a bunch of hair. I realized I've started losing hair, and I told my father, I said, please call somebody, I need to get my head shaved. I don't want to get up every morning looking at myself like this. He called someone. After getting my head shaved, when he was shaving, I was lost. It was just sinking in what is happening. And after he left, all I did was, I just told my father, give me some time. I went into the washroom with closed eyes. I opened my eyes inside the washroom and I cried for an hour and a half. Like loudly, with all the tears. And in that 1.5 hours, I accepted what is happening. And with that acceptance, I decided one thing. I will never question why me, because I will never get the answer. Now what is where I went into. That is where my cancer journey began. And let me tell you that silver lining to my cancer is it gave me time to pause and reflect back. And the learnings that I had from this cancer has been so profound. It started with, how did I get in here? What my life has been so far. And I realized I live all the time with low self-esteem, with my mind telling me that I am not good enough. Maybe it is the teachers, maybe it is the parents, maybe it's the society which is only focusing in what is not good in us, and it just gets into our system. And because we want to be perfect, we wear a mask. That mask is so heavy. We don't even realize who's behind the mask and who's there in the mask. I realized that throughout my career, I always was such a strong personality, used to go for motivational talks, but inside I always felt I'm wearing a mask, and the day that mask will come off, everybody will know I'm not good enough. This mask was too heavy and I wanted to take it off. So my learnings started therein. My learnings is, the first thing I did is being self-aware. I went into deep questions with myself. What makes me fearful? What motivates me every day? What is my worldview of life? I started journaling the answers. I got a lot of answers. I realized I'm very unique. I'm very special. I am perfect with my imperfections. And I need to learn to love myself with my flaws, because that is how human beings are supposed to be. That word perfect doesn't exist, and all of us are fighting to get in there, wearing a mask, and that mask costs us a lot in life because we forget who authentic selves are. This journey has been going on for 4.5 years now, 5.5 years now, and I have been right now progressed, my cancer has progressed to liver, and I'm in stage 4 cancer as we speak. But my learnings have just told me to live in the moment, because life is that unpredictable that you really don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. All I can control is my thoughts. My thought brings me back to the present. I am ever grateful for each day as it comes, because I personally feel all our lives, all of us are living here for a very limited period of time. How do we want to experience life in that limited period? Live in the past with the pain? Look at the future and get anxious? And let me tell you, no matter how many challenges we had, we were able to overcome it. So today that we're spoiling for tomorrow, thinking about the worst case scenarios, 99% times it's not going to happen. Bring your mind back to the moment. That is meditative, that is living in the now. So the entire experience of the cancer has today made me a person that I always wish I was. A person who loves herself with her flaws, a person who loves the world with their flaws, because what you feel inside is what you project outside. My message to all of you, my message to all of you is break that own bias that you have for yourself. You are good enough. You should love yourself with your imperfections. Life is too short, it is very unpredictable. Live each moment as it comes with gratitude. It's really, really unique and special experience to be a human being. Make the full out of it. Lots of love.